Well, good afternoon, everyone. I can hear that the microphone does work, so I can sense that my voice will be projecting. Can you hear me over in the back corner? All good, a few thumbs, so thank you. So a very warm welcome to patients, carers, family members and staff and friends of Peter Mac. I'm Jason Payne, I'm the Chief Executive here at Peter Mac, and it's my absolute pleasure and privilege to open today's session. So to begin, I would like to take a moment to respectfully acknowledge the traditional owners of the land, which here at our Parkville campus is the Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung people of the Kulin Nation. We pay our respects to elders past and present. We respect and continue to learn from their long-running culture of listening to each other, creating spaces and communities for all to feel supported. So a very warm welcome, as I said, to the Patient Carer and Family Experience Program launch. To introduce, celebrate and discuss three exciting new programs. The direct result of feedback from our patients, carers and family members. I want to warmly welcome you all, and especially to many of you who are directly working within these programs. Also, a very special welcome to Commonwealth Assistant Minister for Health and Aged Care, the Honourable Jed Kearney MP, who's with us in the front row. To members of our Community Advisory Committee and to our presenters and panellists. Well, I'm very excited to be here today, as I said, with so many patients, carers and family members sitting side by side with people from our Peter Mac teams. It's a terrific demonstration of our commitment to working collaboratively with patients as true partners in improving how things are done here at Peter Mac. As well as a celebration, today is a chance to say thank you. A thank you to the patients, carers and family members that continue to trust us with their stories. Thank you to our patient experience and wellbeing team for applying those stories to shape impactful programs like the ones we'll hear about today. In a moment, I'll hand over to Teal to set the scene for us from a patient perspective. Then we'll hear from our patient experience and wellbeing team and the Northern Health Project partners about the three programs. Finally, we will enjoy a panel discussion with a vibrant mix of patients and staff, which I'll also be a part of. You'll have a chance to ask the panel a question, so make a note if anything pops up for you during the presentations. So let's get into it. So I'm now very pleased to introduce Teal Lillehagen. Teal joined Peter Mac's Community Advisory Committee in June 2019 after being treated for oropharyngeal cancer, a type of head and neck cancer. He's now the Deputy Chair of the Community Advisory Committee, Secretary of the Victorian Head and Neck Cancer Support and Education Group, and a consumer representative on many committees and projects here at Peter Mac. He's been deeply involved in all three programs being launched today. So thank you, Teal, and over to you to set the scene for us.
Thanks, Jason, for that introduction. I don't need half of my notes now. I think it's fair to say the introduction hasn't made me any less nervous. So good afternoon, everybody. As Jason said, I was treated here 6.5 years ago for throat cancer. And I'm really honoured to be speaking at this event and talking about why these programs are so important and make such an impact for patients and carers. And I thought the best place to start about why they're so important is to talk about one of them in particular, and that's peer navigation. And I want to talk to you about, or tell you about the first time that I heard about peer navigation. And to do that, I need to tell you about a little group that I'm a member of, and that's the Victorian Head and Neck Cancer Support Group. If you don't know about the group, it was founded in 2019 by Peter Mac and Wickmix. This is a photo from our very first meeting 5 years ago. We were started by Tara Gannon, who's on the very right-hand side, or left-hand side, project officer at Peter Mac. And I think thinking about the events or the programs that are being launched today makes me think about how successful this program has been. And they're successful because Peter Mac have developed them and delivered them after hearing from patients and carers about what they want and what they need. And by doing that, Peter Mac makes sure that they're sustainable, that they're scalable, and that the experience of patients and carers is certainly improved. Over the last 5 years, we've had 147 patients, carers and family members attend our meetings. We meet in the Wellbeing Centre. We have about 20 members each month attend, and within that 20, 2 or 3 of those are attending for the first time. In addition to patients and carers, we also have guest speakers. Over the last 5 years, we've had 30 guest speakers. We've had speechies, dietitians, dentists, radio-oncologists, researchers from the head and neck space. Jerry's often a guest speaker, Director of Wellbeing, and of course we've had Jason, the CEO, come and talk to the group. And it was at one of these meetings that I first heard about peer navigation. It was in June 2021. Our guest speaker that day was Sophie from Cancer Council Victoria. Sophie was telling us all about the amazing work that Cancer Council do for people affected by head and neck cancer. Well, sorry, any cancer really. Also attending that day for the first time was a new member. Her name was Hayley Elridge. In 2018, at the age of 27, Hayley was diagnosed with a tumour in her sinus. It was sinonasal adenocarcinoma. And Hayley underwent surgery and radiotherapy treatment for that tumour. Oh, I'm going to skip that back. After that treatment, Hayley reflected and she said, to be honest, when I was first diagnosed, I completely shut down and isolated myself. I didn't want to know anything about the cancer. I was too scared and overwhelmed to hear anything after hearing the words rare and aggressive. However, when Hayley's cancer returned in 2020, she chose a different path. And the Hayley that I met at our June 2021 meeting was not isolated and fearful. She was funny, she was loud, and she was desperate to be the best advocate for the head and neck cancer patients that she could be. And unfortunately for Sophie, our guest speaker that day, Hayley had also decided she no longer really needed to filter herself. I'll set the scene for you. We're back in lockdown, we're online. Sophie was talking to us about Cancer Council, the amazing stuff they do. She had 21 slides. I checked this the other night. Slide number 10 was peer navigation. So Sophie had made it halfway through the meeting. She was doing pretty well so far. She got to peer navigation. And Hayley, our newest member, our youngest member, that none of us knew at the time really, put her hand up and said, "Can I just say something about your program?" Hayley said, "I've tried it and it's shit." Now, what Hayley meant was Hayley had indeed tried the program, but because of her situation, they were unable to match her with somebody. That was pretty tough for Hayley. But what was worse, Hayley then tried to become a volunteer for the program. Hayley wanted to become a navigator to help the next person. But for various reasons, Hayley wasn't eligible to do that under this particular program. Now, I must say at this point that, of course, Cancer Council do amazing work, provide a lot of amazing services, and I'm sure Hayley would agree with that. But I guess it just demonstrates that not all programs, not all initiatives suit every person. Excuse me. Shortly after the support group meeting, Hayley spoke to the Community Advisory Committee, Peter Mac's peak consumer body. And at that meeting was the CEO at the time and a board member, and Jerry. And Hayley shared her story, and she put forward 4 ideas, 4 initiatives that she thought if Peter Mac could implement, it would improve the experience for future patients. And of course, one of those that Hayley shared was peer navigation. Hayley spoke to us about a model that would include everybody, including a 30-year-old terminally ill woman with no filter and no time to mince her words. Hayley passed away in July 2022. Shortly after she met with the CAC and the CEO, she met with Jerry and her team, and together they co-designed a page on a plan outlining what peer navigation should look like for head and neck cancer patients. And of course, that plan on the page is the foundation for one of the programs that we're launching here today. I'm going to end here by sharing with you an email that Hayley sent to me when she finished reading the final plan on the page. Hayley said, "This is absolutely fantastic. Just reading this is so exciting. And I've read it that many times now, and each time I have a huge smile on my face. It's 100% going in the absolute best direction." Thank you very much. And Jerry, I think I'm handing it over to you.
Thanks, Phil. Thanks, Till. For someone who doesn't like public speaking, you did all right. So what I would like to say is it's people like Hayley and all of you in the audience today willing to share your stories with us to improve services. That's what we want to know. This is what we want to hear. And I would like to say to Hayley's family, her mum Jane and her dad Mark, who hopefully are online, and husband Joel, who was going to try and get here today, a heartfelt thank you from all of us for allowing us to share your experience and tell us what was important to you in your care. So why are we doing these 3 programs? Are you driving that? Oh, okay, sorry. The reason we're doing this is because we ask our patients and consumers and families, what's important to you? What do you think we could do better? What makes your experience hard, and how can we address those things? So that's what the patient experience and wellbeing team is all about. So we focus on the social determinants of health, all of the things that make it hard for you. A common theme highlighted was the importance of offering comprehensive cancer information and improving communication that's personalised to your needs at a time when you need it. So these findings have been outlined in our beautiful patient experience strategy. So we have 4 key themes, and interestingly, the same themes come up every year, which in some ways is a bit disheartening, but in other ways, it's like you're giving us permission to keep going. So navigating your cancer care, this is one of the ones that is brought up everywhere. Personalising information communication, building your capacity as a patient to self-manage your condition and to partner with us in your treatment and care. And also importantly, looking after your networks, building the support of your carers. So I'm thrilled that all of these programs can be wrapped together in the delivery of some of these programs we're launching today. So the first program is Patient and Carer Support, or PACS. Now, I first heard about PACS from our friends in the NHS when I visited the Christie, and they run a service there called PALS, Patient Advice Liaison Service. It is mandated that every hospital in the NHS have a PALS service. And this service is to assist patients navigate through the system and sort out little issues that very quickly become big issues when they're not being heard. So we looked at the model of PALS and thought, you know, could we adjust that for the Australian context, which is what we've done with PACS. So I would like to acknowledge here Kate Tawney, the CEO of the foundation, and her amazing team, because without the foundation supporting us, we wouldn't be able to run these programs. So thank you. And we're very lucky to have such a wonderful foundation that understands what patient experience is like. So we're also launching Cancer School. So Cancer School is a series of self-paced online learning modules that equip patients, carers and family members with the knowledge and skills to navigate their care. It was funded from a small grant from the Telematics Trust and completed on the smell of an oily rag, which is what we do in our team. I'm really excited about Cancer School because I really think it was a beautiful project of co-design. And so I can see some of our designers in the audience today, but I really would acknowledge Peter Wright, our Senior Project Officer, who has led the development of this program, and she'll tell you a bit more about it shortly. And our final trial of volunteer peer navigation in partnership with Northern Health. So that was funded through a Victorian Medical Research Acceleration Fund, and partnering with our colleagues at Northern who have great expertise in this area has been really important. So we are focusing on head and neck and upper GI cancers, and Northern will focus on lung cancer and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And so we'll be able to test and pilot how we can match people with a lived experience with someone with a new diagnosis or someone who's struggling. And you'll hear more about that. So I think I'll introduce our three presenters. So Fiona Moritz is our Patient Experience Manager on the Patient and Carer Support Service. So she oversees PACS and the peer support, and Fee was largely responsible for the beautiful putting together of our lovely strategy, which I must say, Princess Margaret, Gary Roden, Professor Gary Roden, who runs patient experience in Canada at Princess Margaret, said this is world leading and they want to copy it. So we're very proud of it. And this afternoon, we have our second patient parliament. So I think a lot of you will be there, and we're very grateful for you to giving up your time to talk to us about patient experience and what we can do better. It's kind of nice, we've got our very own parliamentarian in the House on the same day we held our patient parliament. So without further ado, Fiona, our Patient Experience Manager, will be followed by Peter Wright and Dr. Rebecca Jessup from Northern Health. Over to you.
Thank you, Jerry, and hello everyone. It's lovely to see so many faces in the audience and for people online. It's really exciting for me today to be talking to you about the Patient and Carer Support Service that's been developed to improve the patient's experience and connect the dots in supporting patients, carers and families, and predominantly around three areas. Is to really help them when they're talking to the staff, navigate the services within Peter Mac and also outside of Peter Mac, so they're connected back into their local services and their community. Also to provide information about what other supports are available, like the support groups like Till was talking about, other financial supports, legal support, social work, all of those other supports that can be quite overwhelming for patients when they're first diagnosed, and then later be able to see what else is available for them to be able to access if they need. And we also have conversations with people to help them solve any minor problems within the healthcare setting. So that's been really wonderful too, to be able to really talk to people and try and de-escalate those concerns before they become a major concern for them. The service is located here at Parkville. It's on the second floor near specialist clinics, which is 2D. We're open between 10 and 3 Monday to Friday, so it is just for 5 hours. And the friendly team that welcome patients and loved ones into the service are Valerie and Peter, who are here today. So maybe if you'd just like to stand up, just so people, if you've got any questions after, you'd like to chat to Valerie and Peter and myself. So thank you. We're also contactable via phone and email. So the phone, we get back to people in the morning if they ring after hours. That's the ways that people can contact us. So as Jerry mentioned, the PAC services addresses the 4 consumer key priority areas outlined in the strategic the patient experience strategic plan. And in designing these services, the Consumer Advisory Committee has supported the development of the service along with staff from other areas within Peter Mac. And two of the Peter Mac consumers, Teal and Ian, have attended all of our working groups and providing their perspective on how the service could meet patients and support them well. So a big thanks to the committee and Teal, Ian and staff. I flicked this slide a bit too early, but we've been going for 6 weeks now. We opened on the 3rd of June. It's been really pleasing to show the results of the first month. So we've had 391 contacts within that time, which is averaging about 19 people over that 5-hour period per day. As you can see, the average time per contact varies depending on the requests, but the majority of contacts are taking between about 5 and 15 minutes. Predominantly those longer times are for people registering and signing up for the Health Hub. It can be tricky and there's little steps that need to be followed. So they're often taking longer times, and clinical questions and cancer information as well. There is a cancer information centre there. So it's been a place where we can support people to find the right information. We have surveyed people as well as they've come in. People have been willing to provide their feedback. So, oopsie, Peter, could you flick that onto the next one? That doesn't seem to be working for me, thanks. So out of the 29 patients, working for you too? No? No? That's a bit funny. I need some tech help. Okay, I might leave Peter to do that. Yeah, so out of the 29 patients, and the carers who have completed it have surveyed that it's 100% positive, which is shown on the slide. So often the inquiries that are somewhat resolved, as you can see, are related to Health Hub, where patients may need more information to be sent to them in a post-visit. So we have worked with Swinburne University to, thank you so much. Did it go on to the next one? Yeah, so this was the slide that we were waiting to see. So it's showing the feedback. So people are finding it very helpful. The team are very patient and helpful. So yeah, just following on from there. So as I said, we have been working with Swinburne University to develop our video for patients to be able to see what the service involves. So it just goes for a couple of minutes. So I'll just share that now. Okay. Oh no, we're going to go back. Oh, I think it's going to work.
Welcome
okay.
to the MacCallum Cancer Centre. As a patient, navigating a cancer experience can be like moving through a maze filled with twists, turns and uncertainties. At Peter Mac, we understand the challenges you might face, which is why we have established the Patient and Carer Support Service, also known as PACS. The Patient and Carer Support Service is a welcoming space for you to seek advice and voice any concerns. At times, you might find it difficult to access the information you need. We can help you to access timely information, emotional support, and guidance through the healthcare system. The service can also help you to provide feedback about your experience at Peter Mac. You may have some recommendations for us on what made your experience better. Sharing this can help us to improve the experience for other patients. At Peter Mac, we use a patient portal called Health Hub, where you can access important information about your care, including appointments, test results, and more. You can access Health Hub via a secure website or mobile phone app. The PACS team can assist you to sign up to the Health Hub app and troubleshoot any issues you may encounter. For more information on Health Hub, you can watch our Health Hub video. Search for Health Hub on the Peter Mac website. You can find the Patient and Carer Support Service at the main hospital in Parkville. The PACS team is available in person, over the phone, or via email from Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. to assist you. As we value your experience and place your well-being as our priority, the new Patient and Carer Support Service at Peter Mac hopes to make your cancer experience a little bit smoother. For more information on the Patient and Carer Support Service, please visit our website at petermac.org and search for PACS.
Okay, so please come and see us at any time when you're here at Parkville. Over to you, Jerry.
Yes. So I would like to introduce Peter Wright, who's our Senior Project Officer here at Peter Mac. She's been with us for a couple of years and led a lot of this work. There we go. Peter's going to talk to you about Cancer School. So we've been talking about Cancer School for a very long time here. David Speakman will attest to that. So the premise of Cancer School is you get cancer, you've got to go back to school. You have to learn a new language. You have to learn how to navigate the system. So I'll hand over to Peter to talk about Cancer School.
Thanks, Jerry, and hi, everyone. Thanks for coming today. So Cancer School is an online program to help people better understand cancer and respond to the challenges faced when living with a cancer diagnosis. It provides education, resources and information for people with cancer, as well as their families and carers. And Cancer School really recognises that we learn well from one another, and we actually developed it with a group of patients, carers and family members. And I'd just like to say a special thank you to the 15 consumers involved, many of which I think are here today. They were involved in both, starring in the videos, but also lots of work in the background in testing the resources and helping design them. So we certainly couldn't have done it without you. So the program offers interactive online guides and videos to prepare people for what lies ahead. It's a chance to hear from our hospital experts and also patients who share their experience and things they've learnt along the way. It also includes lots of information about the range of services, support options and resources available. So you can access it on our website or you can scan the QR code on the screen. So in phase 1 of Cancer School, we developed 4 online videos, which were released last year. And we did this with hospital staff, patients and carers on 4 topics. So what is cancer? Navigating and finding your way, supporting your mental health and supporting the carer. And these videos have also been translated into the top 5 languages spoken at Peter Mac. We obviously don't have time to watch them all today, but I thought I'd just play a short snippet of one of them just so you get a taste of what it's like.
Modalities or the ways we treat cancer, maybe chemotherapy. So it's a drug administered into the vein, radiation therapy, so radiating the tumour itself, or surgery, other common modalities. The other areas around immunotherapy and clinical trials. So again, we're using different types of treatment to make sure we give you the best chance of recovery or curative treatment depending on the type of tumour we are treating.
Treatment for my kind of cancer is very standard. Radiotherapy with chemotherapy as well are complementary. So there aren't a lot of options. Having said that, it was well explained to me. So I understood why I was getting what I was getting.
I was offered chemo and radiation. I went to see different oncologists to get opinion because I want to make sure, I want to find the best treatment plan for me. And also because my parents were in China as well, I also asked them to consult with Chinese cancer doctors. And another thing I really felt very grateful on my journey is my radiation oncologist.
There. So this year, we've also developed 3 online interactive guides that we're really excited to be launching today. And these are for people with cancer and their carers to access to learn more about specific topics that might interest them or be relevant to them. So the 3 guides we've created include what to expect when you have cancer. So this covers a range of topics from diagnosis, treatment, and right through to preparing for end of life. The second one is when someone you care about has cancer, and this guide's really for carers and family members, and it includes some of the more practical topics about caring for someone with cancer, but also lots of information about looking after yourself as a carer and some of the common issues that carers might face. The third one is Cancer in Your Wellbeing. So this includes information about wellbeing services and also key pillars that contribute to a person's wellbeing, such as exercise, nutrition, stress management, sleep, and relationships. So I'm just going to quickly show you part of one of the guides. Again, we don't have time to look at it all, but this is the first one. So patients and carers can use the guides to navigate to topics that are relevant to them. They don't need to complete the whole thing. And within each topic, there's a variety of information, videos, and links to resources like fact sheets and podcasts and other reputable websites. We've brought together many videos that have been developed at Peter Mac across lots of different teams so that they're all together in the one place and easy for people to find and use them when they need them. You can also use the side menu to move to different topics, and there's lots of information about how to navigate the healthcare system and where you can go if you need further support. So thank you. That's been a super quick snapshot of Cancer School, but really just encourage you to jump online, have a look, and feel free to yell out to me if you have any questions.
Thanks, Peter. Now, these are all open access, so you don't need to be a Peter Mac patient to access these. So now I'd like to invite Rebecca, Dr. Rebecca Jessup, who is the Deputy Director, Northern Health Research Executive Committee Director and Victorian Centre for Virtual Health Research. And she's going to present on the Volunteer Peer Navigation Program.
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, everyone. It's so exciting to be here today to talk to you about something that I'm incredibly passionate about. And Northern Health have been working in the area of peer navigators since early in the pandemic, so early to 2020, when we realised that we had very little reach into our very diverse communities. So we have about 185 languages spoken in the north of Melbourne, one of the most diverse areas of Melbourne. And as you would have seen in the newspapers, we really did have that socioeconomic and diversity divide with COVID, where people who didn't speak English, who came from a country that was not Australia, found it much harder to trust healthcare, to get vaccinated, and to access care early when they were deteriorating related to their COVID. So we've been doing work for the last 4 years, which has included developing a certificate, a vocational education certificate in community services for health navigators to actually train to become health navigators, peer health navigators. But this opportunity came up. Jerry and I were having a bit of a chat, and we decided we would throw our hat in the ring and try to get some funding. And we were very, very pleased to find we were successful earlier this year to develop peer health navigation in cancer services. So peer health navigators actually started in cancer. So I feel like we're coming a little bit back to the roots, but they're not widely adopted and used in Australia. And internationally, the research has shown that peer health navigators will help people get more screening to avoid getting cancer in the first place, that they're more likely to engage in healthy behaviours related to cancer, that they're less likely to end up having a hospital admission or to present to emergency departments, and that they're more likely to have a much better quality of care and quality experience of care. So we should be doing it. And we know actually that we know this is the case because the Australian Cancer Plan 2023 to 2033 has said that this is the kind of role we need to be rolling out across Australia. So last year, the World Health Organization actually said globally, this role, there's really good evidence that we should be adopting it, but that health systems, because it is a role that focuses on helping people navigate health systems, and health systems differ a lot between countries, we need to actually do a little bit of research and make sure that the roles that we're implementing are appropriate, contextually appropriate for the health systems that we're implanting them in, and to also make sure that they work. So that's why we're doing this as a bit of a research project. So we actually want to see whether people experience a better quality of care, and that perhaps that they don't actually end up coming to the emergency department or having hospital admissions as frequently if they have this support from a peer health navigator. So really, really excited about our project that literally started the 1st of July, and we're hoping to recruit volunteer peer health navigators in the next few weeks. And we will investigate the impact of these roles on the quality of life of patients who have the 4 types of cancer that we're going to focus on, which is head and neck and upper GI here at Peter Mac, and at Northern it's Hodgkin's lymphoma and lung cancer. We also are looking at recruiting some peer health navigators with diverse backgrounds, who may work across cancer streams, just to support people from their particular community background and see if that actually works as well. And at every step of the way, we are partnering with consumers. So Teal and Ian, who we talked about before, and G from Northern Health have been part of developing this program and are going to be with us every step of the way. So this is very much consumer driven, and it's very important to us that it remains that way. So really excited about the next 2 years and looking forward to seeing what the outcomes are and how we can potentially influence the uptake of these roles right across Australia. Thank you.